We have almost a capacity crowd here. The largest crowd of the season was the opening game against Golden State when they had 36,000 crammed into here. They'll have upwards to about 33,000 here tonight. They only open the upper deck when they have over 30,000, and they've only done that twice before. So the San Antonio Spurs, 15-9 on the season, and they think this is a critical game going against the Houston Rockets, because if they lose to Houston tonight, they'll fall 8 games behind the Rockets, and these two teams don't square off again until March, and then they'll play 4 more times. Longest winning streak for the Houston Rockets in the NBA. They've won 6 games in a row, and the second team, of course, in league history to win 21 of the first 22. The Dream, the Admiral, Rudy T, and Luke. I'll tell you, that's a Rockets background there. These two teams have a lot in common. One of the NBA's premier matchups, and as John Lucas was talking to Calvin Murphy and myself before the game, he said this should be one of the great rivalries in the NBA. And Luke has certainly done a lot to bring this franchise back in his last season and a half. But he really feels like this is an important game for his ball club, and he said he'll get a good reading on his Spurs team on how well they play against Houston tonight. Steve Javy, your official, along with Greg Willard and Sean Corbin, the officials for tonight. Javy will throw it up, and the Spurs will have it to start the game. Anderson in the backcourt playing point. Down to Miguel Knight. Trying to drive. Kenny Smith backs off and misses, and there's all Rocket red on the rebound. Vernon Maxwell will push, and he'll fire a 3 right off the bat. Actually, that was a 2, I guess, huh?
Well, he put the ball in the basket. That's the important thing. He's focused. It was so funny to be talking before the game about what Del Ellis said he was going to do to Vernon. You know what Vernon does? He takes a challenge every time he hears some negatives.
Well, when the Rockets went into New York, there was a lot of talking by the Knicks. The Rockets took care of business there. There's Cummings leaning in. Blocked by Olajuwon. Goaltending called on Houston. Terry Cummings making only his 2nd start of the season with Rodman not in the lineup. J.R. Reed will come off the bench. Cummings, a 12-year veteran of NBA competition, may have slowed down a little bit, but he still is effective for 1 game. Thorpe will pull him outside. Robert Horry, nice pass off to Olajuwon. There's old reliable baseline.
It's amazing how, and I've said this 1,000 times, they know it's coming, but yet there's very little you can do about it.
Anderson takes it down low, back outside to Robinson. Thought about driving, now he'll pull up and shoot. He misses. Maxwell with his 2nd rebound of the game. Fast break. Max will pull it back out to Kenny Smith. Robert Horry is still at midcourt.
Robert was expecting a quick shot. He was playing the back slot on the rotation defensively. And it's a good thing he did because it threw the ball away.
And going to be an offensive foul called on David Robinson.
Oh, right off the bat, they're going to put the big fella into foul trouble. So that sends a message that no one is second on that floor today, Bill.
Talk about that matchup in a minute. They got Robinson and Olajuwon head-to-head. We haven't seen that too much in their meetings. Down low to Otis Thorpe, and the foul is called, and Otis will go to the line. They have played, and it's on David Robinson, his 2nd foul in about 30 seconds. And you hate to see anybody get in foul trouble in this great matchup, but there it is, Robinson now with
good call.
Early foul trouble. And Otis Thorpe has been shooting 87% from the free throw line in the last 9 games. Good touch. As I said earlier, Calvin, they have squared off 16 times, David and Hakeem. They are 8-8 against each other, but they don't normally guard each other until late in the game.
Well, you know, with San Antonio, when Dennis Rodman is in the game, Dennis Rodman would really match up with Hakeem and give David Robinson a chance to roam, and that's when they're very dangerous defensively.
David's 2 fouls have come without guarding Olajuwon. Come away from the basket. There's Cummings with a turnaround. He's made a living for 11 years with that shot.
The same basic shot. You know, he doesn't have the lift in his legs that he once had, but what he does have, he has good body position, and he shoots the ball well still.
Maxwell, they ran away and left him, and there's a 3-pointer for Mad Max. And he is on a 3-point blitz this season.
I hope he stays mad. That's the game he plays.
Ellis lays it up for two.
That's too easy. The Rockets are going to have to close that key area up defensively and not allow them to get inside and score those kind of baskets.
Rockets lead it by 2. Down to Olajuwon. He got a step on Robinson. Ball deflected out of bounds off Houston.
And that shows me a lot of confidence that the Spurs have keeping David Robinson on the floor with 2 early fouls.
Miguel Knight gives it up to Ellis, and he'll take it down to Robinson. There's the double team. Willie Anderson way outside short. Kenny Smith had the ball taken away, but the ball goes right through the legs of Cummings. Olajuwon quickly up ahead to Maxwell. Maxwell faked the 3, went for the drive, had it knocked away. Robinson tries to save it and does to Anderson. Spurs on a fast break. Ellis on the drive for 2. And the game is tied at 8. 8:27 left to play in the first.
3 things you worry about: quick shots, turnovers, and early fouls.
Maxwell with his second 3-pointer, and Vernon, number 3 in the NBA in 3-pointers made. He has 44 now, and he's shooting his career best from behind the arc. And there's a steal, Maxwell. Maxwell on the drive. Nice pass, Kenny Smith for 2. And Vernon Maxwell with 2 steals and 2 3-pointers in the first 4 minutes of the game. Also 2 rebounds. And a foul is called away from the ball on Hakeem Olajuwon. Well, isn't that something? Both centers now. Robinson has 2 fouls away from the action, and Hakeem has a foul away from the action. We never saw it. Robinson back outside to Cummings. And they swing it around to Miguel Knight for 2.
That's good ball movement. The Rockets are so concentrated on going low with David Robinson, they're going to have to allow Olajuwon to match up and stay square up on the other players. They're moving the ball and shooting it very well.
Olajuwon baseline, misses the shot. Robinson right in his face.
And he didn't try to block it. All he did was try to take the vision away from Olajuwon on that shot. That's good defense.
Cummings from the outside. He hits. And the Rockets lead is now down to 1.
There's a problem of having Cummings in the game opposed to Dennis Rodman, who's only going to try to rebound. Cummings adds another offensive weapon on that floor.
It really does give him another dimension. Cummings almost with a steal. There's Robinson and Thorpe going down. No whistle. They had each other in a headlock. 4 on the shot clock as Olajuwon puts it up and misses, and Ellis has it. Ellis will give it up to Robinson. Over Olajuwon. He misses, and the rebound goes to Robert Horry. And he'll get it up to Kenny Smith. Smith and Knight matched up out front. Knight right in his hip pocket. Hakeem back outside to Maxwell. Robert Horry goes baseline, little soft shot. Won't go in. Anderson with a rebound. Anderson at 6'8" is a good rebounding guard. Ellis from 18.
They've gone from calling 2 quick fouls on both teams to allowing them to play and get a little more physical around the boards. David Robinson just had one of your wrestling takedowns on Otis Thorpe and nothing was called. So the Rockets can feel a little more safe out there playing physical games.
Spurs now have the lead by 1. Maxwell from way outside misses, and Otis Thorpe chases it down. Rockets will get a new 24. 5:43 left in the quarter. Nice fake by Olajuwon. Back outside, Robert Horry lays it up, missed the finger roll, and there's Anderson again with another rebound. Here come the Spurs. Anderson over to Cummings is wide open, rims it out, and Robert Horry gets it up ahead to Kenny Smith. Kenny Smith trying to get around Anderson, can't do it. Now he gets a pick from Otis Thorpe, and Kenny gets his first basket of the game.
And it's good to see Kenny being aggressive. That means his legs feel good, Bill. He's not shying away from testing those legs, coming down the floor, getting the ball up quickly, and taking the shot that's given to him by the defense.
Robinson cross court to Miguel Knight from outside for two. I'll tell you, Robinson is surveying the situation and making cross-court passes.
Well, this is why I say that they're going to have to allow Olajuwon to play heads up with David, and everybody stay at home and guard their men. Let David get 50 on you, but don't let him get the 30 and everybody else get 15 and 10 on you.
Hakeem back outside to Kenny Smith. He'll put it up over Ellis, three-pointer short. There's Anderson with his 4th rebound of the game, and the second foul is called on Robert Horry. Horry is called. That's his first correction. And a timeout is called on the court with 4:33 left to play in the first period. The Spurs lead it by 1. Here's a word from Southwest Airlines. David will work on Hakeem. Turn around over Olajuwon. Boy, that's too tough a shot. Robert Horry has the rebound. Horry looking down to Otis Thorpe. Post up. Otis goes around. Little hook shot. Oh, rims it out. Tough luck shot. Otis had it. Wouldn't go down. Miguel Knight is fouled, and he misses the basket. Kenny Smith is called for the personal. Miguel Knight will shoot a couple.
Bill, earlier I talked about the importance of cleaning the glass. San Antonio wants to come off the boards, and they want to get down before the Rockets have an opportunity to set up any half-court defense. This is where the Rockets have been good all year, is in that half-court defense where they're able to rotate and help one another. They're trying to beat the Rockets down the floor, get opportunity baskets, and they're going to do that by leaking someone out on all rebounds.
Miguel Knight in his 4th year out of Dayton. And the Spurs picked him up on November the 8th in a deal with the Phoenix Suns for a second-round draft pick. Otis Thorpe has it stolen. Long pass. Robinson was waiting for it. Miguel Knight passes off, and Robert Horry blocks the shot of Cummings, and it's off the knee of Otis Thorpe. So a good block by Robert Horry.
Yeah, that's good support defense. Robert's very active early around the boards. You got a nice pass by Knight going in on Cummings, and Robert Horry just splits the defense. Unfortunately, they weren't able to come up with the ball. So that's all for naught.
Spurs leading at 18-15 with 3:52 left to play in the first period. David with a beautiful drive, follows the miss for 2. And David Robinson with his first basket of the game. He's now 1 for 5.
You know, I talked with John earlier, John Lucas, about David's game, and what he says he does with David is just allows David to play the kind of a game a big forward would play, opposed to being a center.
Vernon takes the pick and downs the shot. And Vernon Maxwell with 10 points in this quarter. And that's a big reason the Rockets are in it. Up until that basket by Vernon, the Spurs were off on a 12-2 run.
Well, you know what my favorite phrase is when you find somebody's hot, Bill. You've got to milk the situation. Now, you have Ellis not playing extremely good defense because he's not fighting over the picks. He's allowing himself to get caught by a pick, and he's not even going under or over. So that gives Vernon an opportunity to get any kind of shot he wants.
3:21 left to play in the first quarter. 14 on the shot clock. Maxwell and Ellis. Robinson back outside. Willie Anderson shoots it up with 5 seconds on the shot clock, and it goes. Anderson, the 6th-year pro out of Georgia, had some knee problems over the last couple of seasons, but he's starting to round back into shape. Big guard at 6'8".
Big shooting guard at 6'8". He can flat out put the ball in the basket.
Down to Hakeem, working on David, gets a double team. He throws it away. Can Robert Horry catch it? No, he can't.
Now, what's happening, Bill, is Olajuwon is posting up. Nobody's moving, and that gives them a chance to play good defense against them.
Timeout on the court. 2:49 left in the first quarter, and the Spurs are having a good start. They'll take it down low. Ellis will turn and fire over Maxwell. He misses. Cummings tips it back outside to Anderson. Kenny picked him up. Cross-court pass to Ellis. Robinson driving, and Robert Horry almost got the steal. That leaves Anderson wide open for a 3, and he's short. Knight tips it back to Anderson. Cummings from the wing. And Terry Cummings, who is starting in place of Rodman, has 8 points. He is 4 of 6 from the field.
The Spurs collectively are a little more aggressive than the Rockets right now. They want the ball, it seems, just a little more because they're getting their hands on it, and they're coming up with second shot attempts at the basket.
Olajuwon trying to post up. There it is. He's working on David. Back outside. Maxwell pumps up a three-pointer off the rim. Won't go. And the ball is fought for, and Hakeem can't control it. Out of bounds, Houston.
Now, that's the first shot that Maxwell had that he actually rushed. He didn't have the ball firmly in his hand, and it showed by the rotation on the ball as it went up on the rim. Very little rotation.
J.R. Reed will check in now for Robinson. And the Spurs with a 24-17 lead. And Robinson will sit down with a couple of fouls. David is 1 for 5 from the field. He has 2 rebounds to go along with the 2 points and the 2 fouls. Now we go to the bench, Calvin Murphy. Herrera and Elliott will check in for Houston. And this is where Houston might have an edge in the depth, as Otis Thorpe will sit down. Thorpe with 1 point.
Well, the Rockets are right now going for an opportunity with Mario Elliott to create something going to the basket with the fact that they're doubling down. And that gives him a weak side opportunity to play one-on-one, and you know he can use his ability to finish the play.
Cummings a turnaround. There's Olajuwon getting the rebound. Good defense by Herrera. He got a hand right in Cummings' face. Maxwell on the drive. Gets around Anderson. No place to go, and he travels. Scotty Brooks will check in for Houston. And Rudy now is going to try to energize that Houston offense. He's got the bunny going in.
Well, now what John Lucas does, he counters by bringing
Lloyd
Daniels into the game, and you're talking about Scotty Brooks having to play Daniels, which is a mismatch.
Now, this is a 6'8" point guard in Anderson and a 6'7" 2 guard in Daniels. That is a huge backcourt for San Antonio.
Well, Scotty's got to be concerned about the post-up, so now he's playing it right. He's playing 3/4. He's getting help from the person that's guarding the passer, which is Olajuwon in this situation.
Kickball is called. A new shot clock is up. 1:04 left to play in the quarter. It's 24-17 San Antonio. Anderson is open for a three-pointer. He misses. Herrera has it knocked away. Daniels comes away with it for 2. Well, the Spurs are getting a lot of second-chance points. Working the offensive boards. 4 offensive rebounds for the Spurs, only 1 for Houston. And that's 6 second-chance points for San Antonio. Maxwell is open again. He misses. And the Rockets are getting only 1 shot, Calvin.
And they only have 1 person going to the boards. And that particular time was Olajuwon. The Rockets have got to have everybody working towards making this thing happen. We talked about all or nothing earlier, Bill. Everybody's got to do their part. This is a very talented team, the Spurs.
The Rockets appear to be short-circuited at the moment, trailing it 26-17. In fact, this is the worst start the Rockets have been off to in the first period. Even when they got beaten by Atlanta, it was a little closer than this. Here's Anderson. Foul. And it's a 1-shot foul.
The Spurs are spreading the Rockets out defensively, and they have such good movement right now, Bill. They're slashing through the slots. They're moving the ball on the perimeter. They're getting any kind of shot they want. Now, Mario Elliott is playing Anderson properly. He's not allowing him to drift like he did earlier in the game.
And he put that ball out in front for Olajuwon. They're taking it up. Hakeem made him change the shot quickly to Maxwell. 3-on-1 fast break. Max gives it up to Elliott, and he's hammered by Anderson.
That's the first series that the Rockets did a nice job defensively, which created some offense for them.
Notice on this pass, Calvin, that Mario Elliott is not. Has he got that hand tape?
He has a slight pad on that hand, but you can see he's gripping the ball a little better, and he went in there actually begging for that foul. I believe that if he had concentrated on taking that ball to the hole a little stronger, that he could have scored on the layup and gotten a foul shot.
Mario Elliott, an excellent free throw shooter. Coming into this game, Elliott shooting 87% from the free throw line. The Rockets, one of the top free throw shooting teams in the NBA, at 76%. Elliott gets both. And it's 26-19 Spurs with almost 2 seconds left to play. Long down court pass, knocked out of bounds by Elliott. quarter is over, says Steve Javy. The ball was tipped at the other end of the court, Javy says. So the Spurs will not have the ball underneath their basket with a second left. That's going to be the end of the quarter. And Javy is explaining that right now to John Lucas. So that is the end of the first quarter of play, and it's a good quarter for the San Antonio Spurs. The Spurs 26, the Rockets 19. Here are the first quarter stats sponsored by Jeep Eagle, and the Spurs out rebounding the Rockets and also out shooting Houston 48% to 44%. The Spurs had an 18-6 run in the last 7:30 of the first quarter, and that gives them the lead. Olajuwon has really been double and triple teamed and taken out of the offense here early, Calvin.
Well, what they're doing is they're just boxing him in. They're not trying to block his shot. They're just simply trying to make him shoot the ball out of sync, a little higher than what he would normally like to do, and they're going to take that baseline shot of his totally away.
Mario Elliott tried to force a pass down. J.R. Reed has it on the steal. Sleepy Floyd has just checked into the game, and he'll be picked up by Scott Brooks. Sleepy started the season as the point guard for the Spurs, but then they made the trade for Nigel Knight. He has the ball stolen on the drive. Now, he is an excellent driver, as you all know, back in Houston. Mario Elliott drops it down to Carl Herrera. He'll work on J.R. Reed. A little jump hook by Carl. Won't go. Robinson loses the ball, but Sleepy picks it up. So it'll be Floyd and Daniels in the backcourt. Mario Elliott will match up with Lloyd Daniels. Robinson back into the game. Olajuwon picks him up. And no foul. He ran right over Hakeem. He just keeps getting his rebound. He missed it and finally tipped it in. 4 chances for Robinson. He absolutely went right over Olajuwon and put some crack marks right up his chest, and no whistle.
Nevertheless, the rest of the Rockets have got to do something. They've got to be a little more aggressive. David was able to get 3 attempts at that basket because everybody stood and watched the fact that Olajuwon got knocked down.
Mario Elliott puts up a 3. So Mario hits his first three-pointer of the game, and that makes it 28-22 Spurs as we start the second quarter from the Alamo Dome.
You know, even though the Rockets are behind right now and not playing their best game, the tone is not completely out of the way of the Rockets. They still got an opportunity to come back and play good basketball.
Ellis misses. J.R. Reed with another offensive rebound. Daniels from the baseline. 3-pointer for Lloyd Daniels. Daniels can shoot the 3, and that's his 16th of the season. Scotty Brooks takes it down to Olajuwon, goes baseline, and the ball is knocked out of bounds by San Antonio. Actually, I think what they did was give the ball to Houston rather than call the 3rd foul on David.
Now, Olajuwon is receiving the ball. The first thing they do, they rush him, they make him put the ball on the floor quickly.
Oh, brother, they're going to reverse it. Now watch him put a chest on Hakeem. He knocks the ball,
and David Robinson kicked it out of bounds.
Yeah, and they give the ball to the Spurs. So this unit is over its head here early. 31-22, 9-point lead, largest of the game for San Antonio. Almost a turnover. Robinson saves it on the double team. Sleepy Floyd right back to David. From 17, he misses, and the ball is off the Spurs, and the Rockets have it.
Carl Herrera has got a major job right now on the floor. He's got to help Olajuwon around that basket rebound-wise. Olajuwon has been caught taking a stab at 1 rebound and then getting back.
David is 2 for 10. There's Ellie wide open. And he won't hit the 3, and Robinson with a rebound gives it up to J.R. Reed, right back to Sleepy Floyd. In the corner to Daniels, and he was out of bounds. Olajuwon, Calvin, has taken only 3 shots. He's 1 for 3 for 2 points, and they have effectively taken him completely out of Houston's offense.
Well, he's trying not to force it, Bill. In defense of Olajuwon, his teammates need to move so he can get that ball out quickly, give them an opportunity to score. Then the defense will loosen up inside, and then he can take over.
But all the Rockets are getting are 3-point shots. There's Scotty Brooks putting up a 2. That's long range. He misses. Ball deflected out of there, and Daniels gets it. And I'll tell you what, the Spurs are doing a great job of rebounding here in this game.
Well, you remember correctly, Bill, earlier we talked about the perimeter attack.
Foul called on Carl Herrera.
The Rockets, we knew right off the outset of this game that the Rockets were going to have to shoot well from the outside.
A few words now between Herrera and J.R. Reed.
J.R. just talking to himself talk, Bill. J.R. is a finesse player. Now, Herrera must be awfully strong to move him that way.
That's the first team foul in this quarter. Ellis gives it back to Sleepy. He travels. That is the fifth turnover for the Spurs. The Rockets have 8 turnovers. And it's 31 to 22. 9-point lead for San Antonio. There's Olajuwon. First uncontested shot.
Well, you got that uncontested shot because Vernon Maxwell came off with a 2-man game, penetrated. David had to come over and support. He got it to Olajuwon for a nice little 10-foot baseline jump shot.
Daniels working on Ellie one-on-one. Little turnaround baseline. Short, won't go. The rebound. Herrera has it out to Scott Brooks. 3-on-2 fast break. Scotty pulls up and fires. No. And Robinson with a rebound. Back the other way to the Spurs. J.R. Reed turning around. Scotty tried to steal it. Almost did. J.R. underneath. And Ellis gets the miss. Won't go, and Herrera pulls it down.
Now there's the kind of basketball the Rockets are used to playing. Herrera has picked up the intensity for the Rockets by helping around the basket, and they're giving themselves an opportunity to swing that momentum.
Vernon Maxwell with a quick 2, and the Rockets have scored 4 points in a row, and it's 31 to 26. And a quick timeout is taken by John Lucas. So 7:35 left to play in the second period, and the Rockets are starting to roll. David has it at the top. Ellis pops out. He's open from 18. I'll tell you what, one of the best pure shooters to ever play this game, Dale Ellis.
Yeah, you're going to have to chase him. You cannot try to fight over the top of any kind of a pick. He shoots the ball too quickly. You've got to make him put the ball on the floor.
He is a 52% shooter on the season, and most of those shots are from way outside, and there's a turnover as Maxwell threw it away.
Yeah, Maxwell tried to pass on the same plane as his teammate with the defense between them. That's a very difficult pass. You want to try to find an angle to get the ball in. 33-26 San Antonio. Shot clock is down to 9. Sleepy right back outside. Robinson puts it up short, and David is ice cold. He's now 2 for 11. But he's got a... Well, he doesn't have a steal. Nope. Sleepy takes it away from Hakeem. Sloppy passing by Houston again. Not bad transition defense by the part of the Spurs so far this game. They've been able to have 3 interceptions getting down the floor quickly.
Especially by Robinson. He's got 2 steals himself. Daniels short, and Herrera gets it out to Maxwell. Almost a steal by Sleepy. Max takes it inside and gets it inside of Robinson. Boy, there was a lot of contact, but I think they're a little reluctant to whistle number 3 on the Admiral.
I don't know why. If you foul, you foul. That's how basketball goes.
33-28. The Rockets now within 5. 5:56 left to play in the first half. J.R. Reed misses. And those are the kinds of shots Houston wants San Antonio to take. The quick ones with nobody underneath.
Especially with a person like J.R. Reed, who's not particularly a great shooter. He can get hot.
Hakeem with that fadeaway. Short. Too tough a shot. David really forced him to take it a little further outside than he'd like. Hakeem now 2 for 5. Sleepy gets a pick. Lays it up with the left hand for 2. Big pick.
Well, we've seen that move by Sleepy before, Bill.
Yep.
One thing he can do, he can find a seam, and he can go to the basket with the best of them.
Larry right back to Hakeem Olajuwon. Vernon Maxwell gets a step on Ellis, gets right inside of him for 2. Vernon has been all of Houston's offense. He's now 7 of 10, including 2 trifectas, 16 points for Vernon Maxwell.
Yeah, he's making Dale Ellis play. And that takes a little bit away from his offensive game, and you got to concentrate defensively on somebody strong.
J.R. Reed over Herrera short. Good defense by Carlos. Rockets trailing it by 5 points. And another turnover. David reached in, popped it away. J.R. Reed Missed the layup. And here comes Maxwell with the ball. Rockets need a score. Vernon gives it up to Scotty Brooks, right over to Mario Elliott from short distance for two. Beautiful pass by Scotty, good ball movement, and the Rockets now climb back to within 3 points.
Good movement, period, body movement by the Rockets. This is what was missing earlier in the game.
And John Lucas wants a timeout, so the Houston Rockets now starting to get some shots to fall, and we have 4:11 left in the first half. It's a 3-point Spurs lead.
You're watching KTXA.
Here's tonight's second look replay, sponsored by your Houston area Ford dealer, the Truck Authority. And talk about a truck. Look at this pick by J.R. Reed. The Energizer lost one of his batteries on that pick. And Sleepy was able to finish it off. Miguel Knight back in the game. Robinson with a tough shot. He missed it. Over the back. No whistle. Trying to save it, and good play by Herrera. Took it away from Cummings. Here's Elliott on the fast break. He's got Otis Thorpe on the wing. OT is fouled. And that's going to be the third foul on David Robinson. And he wanted a foul on Otis Thorpe.
Well, Otis went to the basket with authority. Let's take a look at it right now. Otis Thorpe just goes to the basket strong like he normally does. He went up there. I don't know what David was complaining about. Otis dropped that free hand to make sure that he didn't get an offensive foul.
And down on the floor, we still have Vernon Maxwell. And he went down on the transition. We were watching the other end, and Vernon is being helped to his feet. And Calvin, I can't imagine what happened.
Now, if it's taking Vernon this long to get up, Vernon got hurt because you know he's resilient. He's not going to stay down unless something is really bothering him. I think it looks as though he collided knees. That's how he's walking right now.
Yeah, that's right. That's a good guess, and we're going to see Sam Cassell come into the game. No, I guess Vernon's going to stay in.
I'll tell you, that Vernon is some kind of a competitor.
Takes a lot more than that to get him out.
A bullet.
In this quarter, the Spurs are 4 of 18 for only 22%. The Rockets 6 of 11 for 55.
Well, the Rockets have done two things. They've kept them from getting the second shot attempts, and defensively, they're rebounding better. And then defensively, they're extending their defense out and making them put the ball on the floor opposed to taking the pot shot that they did earlier.
All right, now with 3 fouls on Robinson, do you think the Rockets will go after him?
Well, I wouldn't. You know, if you're going to take your offense at an individual with fouls and they don't get them, you're destroying the offense. Get him the foul in the flow of what you try to do by simply moving the ball and moving the body.
Otis shoots an air ball, and he is way off tonight. I should not have given out his good free throw shooting stats. It seems to have jinxed him. He's 1 for 4 from the line tonight. Still 1 point. Rockets playing without Olajuwon. It'll be Maxwell, Brooks, Herrera, Elliott, and Thorpe.
The only suggestion I would have for Otis with these foul shots is just to extend his arm. He's shooting the ball short because he's not locking that elbow.
Daniels shoots it over Elliott. Won't go, and the Spurs have gone ice cold. 20% shooting in this quarter. Maxwell, nice drive on Anderson, puts it up. It won't go, and Robinson with a rebound. 35-32. Spurs lead it by 3. And this game looked like it was going to be high scoring, but it has gone right into the deep freeze here in this quarter. Knight passes off in the corner. Willie Anderson, 8 on the shot clock. Back outside, they're fighting for it, down to 3. Hard shot won't go, and Herrera gets the long rebound. Boy, Carl Herrera is having a great game.
Well, we call it that he had to come off that bench and lead, and that's what he's done.
Scotty Brooks with a 3, and that won't go. The Rockets now are 3 of 9 from behind the arc. Miguel Knight trying to get a step. He's fouled by Scott Brooks. And that is the second team foul on the Rockets. Only 1 team foul on the Spurs. And Cassell and Olajuwon will check in.
Well, I tell you,
Brooks and Herrera go out.
Yeah, Herrera should be commended for the fine job he did. He came and ignited the Rockets off the boards. He played that good, strong defense. He didn't have to score points, which, of course, he's done very well the last few games. But he did exactly what was needed to get the Rockets back on track.
Calvin Robinson, 2 of 13. He has 9 rebounds, 4 points. Olajuwon has 4 points and 4 rebounds. So the two big men, as we suspected, have negated each other.
Well, how often do they play each other? What is this, 8 and 8 as far as win-loss? And it's been based on who has come out in the last quarter and played well for their team. We haven't heard the last of these two big men as far as scoring yet, Bill. They got a whole second half to get their offensive game on track.
2:36 left to play in the second quarter. Otis Thorpe all the way across court. Sam Cassell getting his first playing time tonight. Dropping it down to Hakeem. Double team on the Dream. Twist inside. Passes off. That's only the second team foul on the Spurs.
Now it's amazing.
Foul was called on Miguel Knight.
It's amazing. Olajuwon actually had his opportunity to score then, but he's so used to the way that they've been playing him defensively that he didn't look at the basket. He looked to get the ball to a teammate first. If he looks over that right shoulder, if he's on the left side of the floor, he can score.
Ellis will match up with Elliott. And there's a steal, Terry Cummings. Elliott committed himself early. Cummings came around Olajuwon and stole the ball. And that's the 12th turnover in the first half for Houston.
And Bill, I like what you just said, where he committed himself early on that pass, and that's easy. That's an easy way to dictate.
And Otis Thorpe gets the rebound up to Maxwell. Vernon into the corner. Sam Cassell behind the three-point line for 3. And the rookie continues to impress.
Boy, I tell you, Sam is a competitor in his own right. He doesn't try to do anything outside his game. He's taking the defense gives him, and he's very confident in his game, Bill.
2-point game. Spurs leading it. Robinson gets a double team. He goes to Miguel Knight. Down a little closer. Cummings passes to Anderson, and it's got to be 3 seconds, and it is. 3 seconds on the Spurs, and the Rockets now with a chance to tie the game on this possession or take the lead with a 3.
David Robinson is 2 for 13 right now, and the Rockets are still doubled down on him. I think that who's ever playing David, until he gets hot, can pretty much handle him offensively. You don't want him to keep his teammates involved.
Cassell going to shoot the jumper. He's fouled, and it goes. And now he has a chance for a 3-point play the old-fashioned way. So Cassell off the bench with 5 quick points and maybe 6. I'll tell you, he's calm and cool, isn't he?
Oh, boy, I'll tell you, just playing basic basketball. Let's take a look at what he does. He just simply gets himself an opportunity to get the defense on his side. He pulls up short and takes that little 10-foot jumper. So often the Rockets will take it all the way to the basket, giving the defense a chance to either deflect it or block the shot.
Got to finish it off, and he couldn't do it with a free throw, and we've got a tie game at 37 with 1:08 left to play in the quarter. Robinson has it knocked out of bounds by Hakeem. 11 seconds on the shot clock.
You know, I was wrong, Bill. I understand why Rudy is sending someone at David right now, just keeping him off balance. You don't want him to get his timing to have the big numbers. If you come at him diagonally, that throws him off.
Cummings picked up outside by Thorpe. David takes it inside to Anderson. He missed the shot. Cummings is right there. He misses it, puts it back in for 2. The Rockets didn't have a red jersey anywhere around Cummings. He was the only man underneath the basket.
Here's that concentration so much on David.
44 seconds left. Spurs with a 2-point lead. Cassell getting a pick from Otis Thorpe. Sam on the drive, and he's fouled by Cummings. And Lucas ran all the way down to the baseline in protest.
Well, he's going to do that anyway because that's John. You know John as well as I do.
Well, both of these coaches look like they're playing again.
Yeah, Sam does a nice job just getting the ball in there. There was a foul after the ball. You know, Luke was criticizing me about being partial Rockets. He says a lot of times you call a foul that's not a foul. Well, I'm going to discuss that particular foul with him after this game, and let's look at the monitor.
You'd be crazy not to because they pay your salary.
I didn't want to tell him that. Put me on the Spurs payroll, and then we can discuss about me talking about the Spurs. What do you think?
Well, if Luke came back to Houston, he'd be a Rockets fan.
When I asked him earlier in the game, how did he feel about the Rockets' success? He was funny, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He knows he's proud of the Rockets.
Game tied at 39, and boy, Cassell has come in and scored 7 quick points, and there's a turnover. Ellis was not looking for the ball, and Miguel Knight threw it right by his ear. That is the 8th turnover by the Spurs. So the Rockets now with a chance to take the lead on this possession with 28 seconds left. Will you go for the final shot?
Yeah, you want to hold that ball down. You don't want to give them opportunity to get that momentum going back into the third period. So that means one shot and one good shot, not necessarily a three.
Cassell will yo-yo the ball out front. 10 on the shot clock. Sam passes to Otis. He lays it up and missed it. All right. With 5 seconds, Miguel Knight takes it in, and a foul is called on Houston. And it's called on Mario Elliott. First foul on Elliott.
Elliott's kind of upset about that, too. He claims that he just put his arm straight up. I'd like to see that one again. So let's take a look at it. Now, they go right to the basket. Mario just puts his arm up. Well, I got to go against Mario on that one. He went for the ball. He went for it. That was a good call.
Now, the Rockets will have 4 seconds, Calvin, in which to get the final shot. Otis Thorpe had a point-blank shot and missed the layup.
Yeah, normally Otis would be dunking that one, even if he had to reverse it from the opposite side. He tried to lay it up on the backboard softly, and it skidded right off that rim.
Otis having trouble getting going tonight. He's 0 for 2 from the field. He has 1.3 rebounds. Miguel Knight will have one more. All kinds of lane violations, but all right, 4 seconds left for the Rockets.
Now he needs to go. He got plenty of time.
2 seconds, down to 1. Cassell lost the ball and never got the shot off. And that's the end of the first half of play, and the Spurs are doing something a lot of teams haven't been able to do. They're going to the locker room at halftime with a lead over Houston. It's the Spurs 41, the Rockets 39. As most of the games in the NBA have this year. Calvin, where has the offense gone?
Well, where has the shooters gone?
Yeah.
That's where the question is. You have so many scorers now in basketball that the shooting has subsided.
So Robert Horry does not have a point here at halftime tonight. And just really hasn't been involved. In fact, has taken only 2 shots. He's 0 for 2, no points. Thorpe has only 1 point. And Kenny Smith has 4 points. So let's see what happens now as San Antonio comes out in a press.
Well, they're just simply giving the Rockets a different look now defensively. The Rockets pretty much towards the end of the first half was able to get the kind of shots they want from the defense.
There's a kick ball by Anderson. The shot clock was down to only 6 seconds, so the Spurs did the Rockets a favor, new 24.
Well, that's what the press is designed for, to make you use up that clock so that you can't run your offense with too many seconds to go.
Olajuwon out at the top of the key. Robinson giving him some air. Ellis coming over to double team. Now he goes away, and Hakeem will shoot the J for 2, and that ties it up at 41.
Well, see, there's the ability for Olajuwon to do certain things with the ball. He's having a hard time facing up.
Kenny Smith with a steal. Lazy pass by Cummings, bringing the ball in. And Cummings trying to steal it back, knocks it out of bounds. Rudy working hard on the sidelines. He and Lucas may be the 2 most physical coaches in the NBA as far as working a sideline. Alley-oop to Robert Horry, and that's the favorite inbounds play for Houston. Maxwell with the alley-oop, and Robert Horry with his first basket of the game, and the Rockets have gone back into the lead by 2, and that's the first Rockets lead since early in the first quarter.
Well, that was some kind of a pass thrown by Vernon Maxwell.
It really was. Nice touch on it. Robinson has the ball knocked away by Horry. Ellis puts up a 3. He misses, and it's tipped to Olajuwon. Kenny Smith on the run. Anderson is back. Kenny will stop, and he can't pop. And Anderson with another rebound. Anderson has done a good job on the boards. That's 4 rebounds for Anderson.
You don't want to leave Anderson. Robert goes into doubles. You leave Anderson.
Miguel Knight wide open. Well, Knight has 12 points. He has been left open a lot here tonight in Houston's defensive scheme of things. Maxwell takes it down to Hakeem. To the middle. And he was bumped just a little bit on his release. Game tied at 43. Anderson from the outside won't go, and Olajuwon tips it to Horry.
Yeah, we're trying.
Hakeem will shoot it from 17. And it looks like Hakeem is warming to the occasion now.
Well, he's getting different shots, Bill. He's taking himself from having his back to the basket to being out on the floor, making David Robinson play him out there. David doesn't want to come out that far, giving himself an opportunity to have some open shots.
Yes, that's the ability of Olajuwon, if need be, can take his game outside. Robinson, cross court, Miguel Knight again. Cummins must have taken 3 steps to get in position, barely beat the shot clock. Jump ball. Robinson ties up Olajuwon. I'll tell you what, Robinson went over the top. Rudy is really upset. He thought maybe Hakeem was fouled on that play.
And it was a quick call for a jump ball also.
Sure was.
Let's take a look at it. Olajuwon just gets the rebound. And right here, David goes over the top. Well, he doesn't foul to get the ball, but he didn't have a full grip on it either.
Ball tipped back, and the Spurs control. So the Spurs with a second chance. Rockets lead at 45-43. We're just underway in the third period from the Alamo Dome in San Antonio. Anderson tried to make a pass to Cummings, and Robert Horry knocks it out of bounds. Well, Robert looks a little quicker here in the second half. 12 seconds on the shot clock for the Spurs. Robinson has to go back and get the ball. Olajuwon, tough defense. Miguel Knight, guarded by Hakeem. Shot clock is down to 3 seconds. Anderson. Good shot by Willie Anderson, and he has 6 points. He'll be tied at 45.
Before Willie Anderson went down with that injury, you wouldn't find a pure shooter than Willie.
Vernon Maxwell with a 3-pointer, and it won't go. Cummings with a big rebound. Maxwell with a steal. Saves it to Kenny Smith. Kenny Smith back to Max. Max takes it to the middle. He's fouled, and it goes! Vernon Maxwell with one of the more sensational defensive and then offensive plays you will see all season.
There's the intensity that the Rockets are used to seeing this season. Vernon makes a nice move going to the basket after a nice steal. The pass goes right to Vernon. Vernon just uses his athletic ability to make it happen. But the part that I like about the Rockets, watch his teammates come off that bench. Good defense on the part of Vernon to start all this offensive show to go.
Foul was called on Cummings, and there's a 3-point play the old-fashioned way for Vernon. And he has 19 points, and the Rockets go up by 3. What a sequence by Vernon Maxwell on the defensive end and then the offensive end. Clear the floor for Robinson. Back outside, they'll swing it around the horn. Miguel Knight again is wide open.
Yeah, they're going to have to change their scheme of things. If they're going to rotate, they're going to have to stop rotating on him. He's proven that tonight's his night to shoot the ball.
They're going to make him a big star tonight. Robert Horry on the run, misses the shot, tipped away by Cummins. Ellis drops it back to Anderson. And a foul is called on Robert Horry. He reached in.
But that was good. That was good defensive transition on the part of Robert. Robert took the shot, which meant he was took the layup. Meant he was on the baseline. He sprinted back 94 feet. Unfortunately, he fouled, but he stopped them from getting an opportunity to score a layup.
That's the second foul on Robert. First team foul on Houston. 1 team foul on San Antonio. Double team on David. He goes around it, has the ball knocked away, gets it back, and he's fouled by Hakeem. And that's number 2 on Hakeem.
That was nice support defense on the part of Robert Horry again. Now let's take a look at it. Robert, unfortunately, if that play was rolled back just a little bit, you saw the nice defense that Robert Horry played, helping Olajuwon on David.
You know this is the first free throw by either big man tonight. They have not been to the line once.
Well, there's been no blood, so I guess you got to draw blood in order to get to the foul line because they've been pounding each other pretty good today.
And David misses. Robinson, a 74% free throw shooter, had some problems from the line at the end of last season.
That was fatigue. Those legs get tired. The shot changes.
And he gets 1 out of 2. So it's all tied up now at 48. Stork comes out high. Robert Horry looks to drop it down to Hakeem. Ellis is right on him. They'll take it down to Otis Thorpe, and Cummings with his hands all over it. Oh no, they're going to call a 3-second violation on Otis Thorpe, and the only reason he was in the lane is Cummings had a handful of jerseys. tough break for Houston.
But another turnover.
Yes, it is. That's 14 turnovers for the Rockets, 10 turnovers for the Spurs. 7:12 left to play in the quarter. Robinson into the corner. Ellis with a three-pointer.
My goodness.
He can do that in his sleep, Calvin.
My goodness. That was some kind of shot. That ball never even got to his fingers before he pulled the trigger. And then you had Vernon Maxwell over there with him. Nothing but the bottom.
920 three-pointers for the leading three-point shooter in NBA history. Vernon Maxwell answers with a 2.
Is Vernon meeting the challenge tonight?
21 points for the Mad Max, and the Spurs lead it by 1. 6:38 left to play in the third.
And he's having a running battle, a running conversation with his old friend, the coach, John Lucas.
There's a steal by Vernon into Kenny Smith. Maxwell doing it at both ends. Kenny wants to go down quickly. A kick ball by Anderson, and we'll reset the shot clock. And we'll have a timeout on the court with 6:22 left to play in the third period as this game picks up just a notch. The Spurs leading it 51-50. Well, the Rockets 56% shooting and the Spurs 57% shooting here in the third quarter. And Hakeem Olajuwon has picked it up a bit. He's having a 4-point quarter so far. Alley-oop inside. Robert Horry, he was pushed a little bit. Did not get to complete the play. 51-50. Spurs lead the Rockets. Terry Cummings will square up now with Thorpe. Terry turns baseline. Tough shot by Cummings.
There's nothing that you can do defensively against that. Otis Thorpe played well, forced him baseline. He was off balance, going behind the backboard and scored. You know, these are professional basketball players, Bill.
Remember, Cummings has over 16,400 points in his career. Kenny Smith open from 18, and the team's now beginning to answer basket for basket. Miguel Knight will walk it up for the Spurs. There's a switch, and Maxwell will be stuck with Robinson, but they go the opposite way. Down to 7 on the shot clock. David is open from 15. Missed the shot, and Otis Thorpe with a rebound, and he is fouled. And the foul is called on Willie Anderson. So David, 2 for 14 from the field. This worst shooting performance by Robinson this season. He has only 5 points.
Well, if you watch Robinson play, he gets a lot of his baskets on dunks, on layups going to the basket. The Rockets have taken that part of his game away. He's making him beat you over the top, and he's having a tough time with it.
Hakeem, no shot there. Shot clock is down to 10 seconds. Maxwell looking for a spot. There you see the shot clock. Time remaining. Take it down to Hakeem. He catches it, fires it up, and he's fouled. And so, boy, what a break the Rockets get as Olajuwon misses, but Miguel Knight makes the foul. And that's the 4th foul on Miguel Knight. Now we'd like to welcome our friends at the TNT Network as we have joined the Spurs and the Rockets from the Alamo Dome. Over 30,000 fans in attendance. And the center of attention tonight has been the centers, Hakeem Olajuwon and David Robinson, but they have almost shut each other out. Hakeem has only 8 points, 4 for 8 from the field. Robinson is 2 of 14 from the field for 5 points.
Well, so often, Bill, as you know, when they play each other, this is the kind of game that they do. They nullify one another and make the teammates take a step up.
San Antonio outscored Houston 26-19 in the first quarter. Houston outscored the Spurs 20-15 in the second quarter, and now the Spurs lead it, or it's tied up, I should say, at 53. We've had 9 ties so far in this game. Very low-scoring affair, but you expect that from 2 of the best defensive teams in the league. Cummings to Robinson for the slam, and he's fouled. And David went to the basket with some authority that time.
Well, it's all about penetration. That's how David Robinson was able to get involved on that particular play. Otis Thorpe did a nice job defensively, but now Cummings does an even better job just getting the defense to have to come over support with Olajuwon.
That's the 3rd foul on Robert Horry. Dennis Rodman, as you know, was suspended for this game. And normally, Rodman who would average 18 rebounds a game. They thought they would miss his rebounding, but in effect they haven't. Cummings has stepped up tonight and scored 12 points along with 8 rebounds for the Spurs, and the Spurs have out-rebounded Houston 34-23. So the Spurs are getting it done without Rodman on the board. It's a 3-point lead by San Antonio. Ori on the outside, drops it down. There's the dream hook for 2. Beautiful move by Olajuwon. And now the two centers are starting to pick it up, Calvin Murphy.
Well, yeah, they're starting to get their timing, and they're getting their timing because their teammates are helping them get themselves into the area where they want to operate from.
Willie Anderson takes it to the basket. And a heavy traffic. Olajuwon may have gotten a piece of it. Here's a 2-on-1 fast break. Maxwell back to Kenny Smith. Lays it up for 2. And the Rockets, with that basket, have taken the lead, 57-56.
Once again, that great defense on the part of the Rockets at half court has ignited their offense to get some easy opportunity baskets.
Yes, the Rockets have had 10 points off fast break, and the Spurs with only 4. But the Spurs are outscoring Houston 13-0 on second chance points as they have used the offensive board. Ellis with his second three-pointer of the game. Dale Ellis. And the Spurs go up by 2, 59-57. Maxwell, he'll try to answer, and he does! Vernon Maxwell with a three-pointer. And that's the third three-pointer for Vernon tonight. And Maxwell with 24 points.
And he's exciting the riot around here, Bill. He's talking to the bench, he's talking to the coach, and he's scoring baskets.
Rockets lead it by 1, 60-59. Robinson trying to take it in on Olajuwon, lost it out of bounds. And it'll be San Antonio's ball. So a timeout is charged to Houston with 2:53 left to play in the third quarter. And these 30,000 plus here in the Alamo Dome are really getting their money's worth tonight. And they tried to get it in close, and Maxwell with another steal. Vernon. He gives it up to Otis Thorpe, and he's fouled, and Otis will shoot 2. All right, now Otis was only 1 for 4 from the free throw line in the first half, and Calvin Murphy gave him a little free throw lesson at halftime. So, Murph, what did you tell him?
Well, the thing that I was concerned about, he wasn't finishing his shot. He had what they call a recoil action. He needs to extend the shot and lock that elbow and nice soft rotation. Unfortunately, he didn't lock that elbow again, Bill.
The Rockets are hurting themselves tonight. They are only 7 of 13 from the free throw line. The Spurs are 8 for 9.
All right, make me a good coach here. That's better. He locked it, he had nice rotation, and he extended that arm.
Otis now 2 for 6 from the free throw line. He has 2 points in this game. He's only taken 2 shots from the field and missed both of those. 61-59, Houston leads it. Robinson going to work baseline, got Olajuwon in the air, throws it up, missed the shot. And now Hakeem has 3 fouls to go along with David.
Olajuwon needs to take a little tip from the way David is playing him. Don't try to block his shot. What you want to simply do is go up and make him change the shot. You don't have to block it. David gives a nice head and shoulder fake and gets Olajuwon in the air and gets himself to the line. David's not shooting well enough for you to have to worry about blocking his shot, Bill.
I'll tell you, he's shooting well enough this season, though. He has really been lighting them up. With Rodman coming along, it's taken a lot of worry about rebounding away from David. He has scored 30 or more in 13 of the 24 games he's played, and he's second in the league at 28 points a game. And a center hasn't led the league in scoring in a long time.
That's right.
But he has only 10 points tonight. Kenny Smith has it blocked. He gets it right back. He'll drive it in, give it up to Robert Horry. Horry from the corner, it's going to be short, and Ellis with a rebound. Game is tied at 61.
You talk about Simmons leading the league, that's because Jordan been around for so long.
Yeah, that's right. Cummings drove into harm's way, has the ball deflected. Ellis gets it back, knocked away. J.R. Reed in the game now. 7 on the shot clock. J.R. Reed has the ball deflected, puts it up over. Oh, what a tough shot by J.R. Reed. In fact, he couldn't do anything else with it but shoot.
That's all he could do. You're right, Bill. He saw the rim and was able to get it up and over. Anytime you have a busted play like that, it's very difficult defensively to try to stop it.
Outside to Kenny Smith. Kenny will shoot a three-pointer. And the Rockets now with their 6th three-pointer of the game, 6 for 14 from behind the arc for Houston, 43%. And the Rockets go back on top by 1. And Anderson thought about the drive for a minute. Kenny caught up with him. Now Robinson will post up Hakeem. Both centers with 3 fouls. Robinson takes it in. Too hard a shot. And a foul is called on Elijah. Is it Elijah?
No, they called it on...
I can't see. Robert Ory is called for the foul.
Called on 25.
And that's number 4 on Robert. That's also the 15th foul on Houston.
Olajuwon makes him go across. Robert Ory gives him a little forearm in the midsection there.
Both teams will be in the penalty now for the final 1:16 of the quarter. And Robinson's starting to get himself to the line because he started to assert himself a little bit.
And his movement, his teammates are getting him the ball. That gives him an opportunity to score with his big, long frame going to the basket.
Ellis will go to the bench. He had a couple of threes, and he has 14 points. Carl Herrera comes in for Houston, and Hakeem will take a rest. And David gets 1 out of 2. Both big centers with 11 points. 64-64. Cassell now will be matched up with Willie Anderson. Sam is left alone, top of the key, short on the shot. And a steal by Herrera. Fell right out of J.R. Reed's hands in 55 seconds. Rockets want to work a little time off the clock, so they'll get 2 for 1. Game tied at 64. Mario Ellie has J.R. Reed on him. That could be a good one-on-one. Ellie into the corner. Right back to Vernon. Gets around Daniels. Vernon puts it up short. Robinson couldn't handle it. Too tall a pass. Quickly back to Mario Ellie. Cassell goes to the corner. Ellie goes to the bucket.
With that left hand again, so he's protecting that right hand, Bill. That right hand is still a little tender, but he's gotten himself now where he's quite confident using that left hand on that penetration dribble of his.
Okay, here we go. Final 16 seconds of the quarter. Spurs will set up the play. Rockets by 2. Anderson got Cassell all over him. There's Roy Daniels from the corner. He misses, and the ball is knocked out of bounds by the Rockets with 1.8 left to play. Almost 2 seconds. So plenty of time for the Spurs to catch the ball and shoot it.
Be careful on that fake to the outside and throwing the lob.
All right, you got Ellie on Reed down low. Anderson will bring it in, and he goes to Cummings. Cummings couldn't get a good shot off. Good defense by Otis Thorpe. Well, we've had the preliminary rounds. Been a lot of jabbing, some points scored, but now both teams go for the knockout. Here we go. Final 12 minutes. Should be a dandy of a finish, and the Rockets lead it by 2. The first missed shot by the Spurs. Rockets in that third quarter shot 58%. The Spurs shot 53%. They'll take it down to Otis Thorpe. Back outside to Mario Ellie. Shot clock is down to 7. Carl Herrera will have to take it. Boom, he hit it.
Boy, is he shooting that ball well this year, Bill?
He shot that one nicely, and they didn't believe it. They didn't come out on him, and the Rockets now lead it by 4. This is the largest lead of the game for Houston since the wee hours. JR posting up Ellie. Right back to Nigel Knight, and Otis made him change the shot. There's Robinson right there. He takes it up. He misses. Tipped up in the air. J.R. Reed has it, and a foul is called on Vernon Maxwell. First foul on Vernon. What a game he has had. He has 6 assists and 3 steals and 24 points.
He's just been the catalyst on the floor for the Rockets tonight.
David and Otis. There's a double team by Cassell as he comes over. Knight goes baseline. Cummins went for the slam, and a foul is called on Carl Herrera. And Carl thought maybe Cummings lost control of the ball rather than the foul.
Yeah, Cummings' legs didn't give him the kind of oomph he thought he was going to get with that dunk. Let's take a look at it. Now, the pass comes from Knight. He goes up, and what happens is he just overthrows the basket with a little help from Herrera.
Yeah. I'll tell you, Terry Cummings has been a great player in this league. Now, this will be his 12th season. Over 16,400 points. He had that terrible surgery last year and missed the entire season, and that may have slowed him down a step, but here comes Hakeem again now, and Otis will take a breather.
What do they say? Here come the cavalry.
But I think Cummings has given them more offense tonight. He has 13 points. That's 13 more than Rodman would have. He has 8 rebounds, and that's about 5 less than Dennis would have at this time of the game. So they haven't missed Rodman that much tonight. Cummings has done a good job.
Just simply get an opportunity. He has his chance to get some playing minutes, to get back into the good graces of the coach, and he's done a nice job at it.
Cummings has 14 points. Olajuwon will take it down low on David. There's the baseline jumper, a little far out. And the Rockets nursing a 2-point lead. San Antonio will try to tie. And a steal by Cassell. And he's fouled by Robinson, and that's number 4 on David. You know, what's interesting is David has 4 fouls, Hakeem has 3, and I don't believe any of those fouls have come guarding the other man.
No, they've come just on weak side action and trying to help teammates, and 1 or 2 silly fouls. That was a silly foul by David. We used to complain about Olajuwon reaching. I see it's a common mistake of most big superstars.
Well, they get a lot of steals, don't they? And so they're so quick, I think they like to use that. Elliott gives it right back to Hakeem. He's picked up by J.R. Reed, and he's fouled by J.R. Reed. I think the officials are saying David can get away with hitting the arm, but not Reed. That's seniority, is it?
Yeah, that's a nice little play by Mario to recognize the mismatch, get the ball into Olajuwon. He actually stayed quite a distance from that basket.
Well, he got a nice roll on that free throw. He's now 3 for 4 from the free throw line. Hakeem has taken only 10 shots in this game, Scott.
Well, he truly doesn't have any Murphyisms in him. I'd have found him to have me 20 by now. Nice shooting.
Well, he gets both free throws, and that's 13 points for Hakeem, 11 for Robinson. 70-66, Rockets by 4. J.R. Reed runs right over Mario Elliott.
I don't know where he thought he was going.
He wasn't going over that guy.
You know, he simply got the ball, tucked his head, and was hoping to draw a foul. Mario did a nice job by simply holding his ground.
Mario says, I'm tough. I'm from the city. He'll say, J.R. is from the bird.
Yeah, for those of you who are listening, we mean the suburbs.
Elliott is fouled by J.R. Reed.
I like that one, Bill, the birds. I forgot all about that.
He said J.R. took a school bus to school.
Oh, that's funny.
Well, that is the 3rd team foul on San Antonio now, and 2 in a row by J.R. Reed, and he'll come out. Anderson will come in. Well, no, he won't. Anderson motioned him back in, and Cummings will come out of the game. Cummings may be breathing a little hard. He hasn't had a lot of minutes this year. Rockets now trying to build on a 4-point lead. Herrera will come over to set the pick for Ellie. He takes it into the corner. Cassell with a 3-pointer, and a foul is called after the shot on Miguel Knight. And that is the 4th foul on Knight. So Sam Cassell will go to the line.
Mario Elliott's doing a nice job from the forward position of penetrating, drawing the defense, kicking the ball back on the perimeter, giving his teammates the opportunity to get a second look at the basket, which you need to set your feet and lean in on your shot.
Sam gave up on that shot. He kind of pulled his arm back like you were talking about a moment ago. He's an 82% free throw shooter. That's only his 5th miss this season.
Yeah, anytime we call it the recoil.
And he gets 1 out of 2. So Cassell with 8 points. And the Rockets with a 5-point lead, 71-66. Rockets need to take advantage of this cold spell right now by San Antonio. And Olajuwon knocks it away from Robinson, and it's off the hand of David.
John Lucas is setting 6 now against Sam Cassell. Won't give him the ball.
And a delay of the game has been called on San Antonio. Rockets will bring it up. Maxwell, Cassell in the backcourt. Ellie, Herrera, and Olajuwon. Robinson right on Olajuwon's back. Back outside to Ellie. On the drive. Mario to Hakeem from 15. Rattles won't go. And J.R. Reed with a rebound. Miguel Knight will push it. Off to Robinson. There's a double team. Cassell comes over to help out. David. And a foul is called on Cassell. Well, David is absolutely charging with it. It's a bull rush with his head down. He's doing everything he can to try to get close to that basket.
Well, Bill, he just finds himself a chance to bully in as close to the basket as possible and uses his size to try to jump over people.
Foul was called on Cassell. There's Robinson running right over Olajuwon, gets it back, and a foul. I can't believe this. And a technical foul is called on Rudy Tomjanovich. The foul is called on Herrera, and folks, what in the world? Robinson ran completely over Olajuwon
again,
and then they call a foul on Herrera.
And a technical on Rudy.
And a technical on Rudy. And Lloyd Daniels got the free throw to go, and it's 71. Look at it. It's just amazing. I can't believe there was no whistle. Rudy didn't come that far down the court. I've seen him come a lot farther than that.
I've seen him in the fast break.
Well, that ends up being a three-point possession for San Antonio, and that's a gift wrap here at Christmas time. 71-69 Houston. Here comes a double team. Cassell saves it. They should have the numbers now. Maxwell takes it over to Herrera. He takes it in, reverses it, and misses everything. Up ahead to Anderson. Ellie went for the steal. Daniels back to Robinson for the slam. And this game is tied at 71.
Well, the Rockets right now just need to keep their composure, stay within the confines of what they're trying to do, both offensively and defensively.
Olajuwon, tough shot, won't go. Tipped and saved by J.R. Reed. Right back to Daniels, sets for a three-pointer. He misses, and Olajuwon with a rebound, and he'll give it up to Mario Elliott. Bounce pass by Elliott. Nice save by Cassell.
Yeah, that was a dangerous pass.
And a timeout taken by Houston. 7:34 left to play, and we're all tied up at 71. Here's a word from Southwest Airlines. Game tied now. Olajuwon is fouled by Miguel Knight. And that is number 5 on Knight. That is also the 15th foul on the Spurs. So they are now in the penalty.
Well, the Rockets have got to stay inside offensively now. Now they're in the penalty, but they don't need to do it with a post-up move. If they keep moving inside, get a little penetration where they can kick the ball off, they can get themselves on that line quite a bit.
In this fourth quarter, the Rockets shooting only 25%, 2 of 8. The Spurs 3 of 7 for 43. And Hakeem with a nice touch, and he is up to 15 points now. You know what, though? Olajuwon, they've got him for 3 rebounds.
That must be 3 blocks. That can't be.
Well, that's what they have him for unofficially, is 3. 73-71. J.R. Reed. Little jump hook, and it goes.
I knew it was just a matter of time before Dale Ellis showed back up to play. He's been shooting that ball well the last part of the third quarter. And he's going to be inserted in the game soon.
Game tied at 73. Sam Cassell with a three-pointer. Had too much time.
Yeah, that's true, Bill. Anytime you see them pump their knees a couple of times, that's too much time for them because that's not a natural stroke. That ball should come, shoot the ball. Don't be afraid to miss.
Miguel Knight lost the ball, and it hit the bottom of the backboard, and it should belong to Houston. Knight dribbled the ball, and it hit the bottom of the backboard. Now the Rockets arguing their case. If it hits the bottom or the top, it is considered out of bounds. And they're going to let the Spurs have it with 11 seconds left on the shot clock. Game tied at 73 with 6:39 left. Down inside the Knight for two. He went in the back door. Beautiful pass by Robinson.
Yeah, Cassell made a mistake and lost sight of the basketball. He didn't see where the ball was because he was picked off and he had to chase his man.
Maxwell puts up a three. The fourth three-pointer of the game for the Mad Max. 27 points for Maxwell, and the Rockets go on top by one, 76-75. We're nearing the 6-minute mark left to play. Robinson outside. The shot clock now is down to 8. J.R. Reed shooting it over Herrera, and he will go to the line to shoot a couple. Both teams now are in the penalty for the final 5:56.
So we're going to have an inside game by both teams, I take it, at this stage of the game right now. Unless the Rockets can start off with the penetration, but you know Vernon Maxwell is shooting that ball so well from a three-point strike. If they penetrate from the same side he's on and draw the defense, they can kick it right back over their shoulder for Vernon to spot up.
Reed is an 80% free throw shooter, and Otis Thorpe checks into the game, and Carl Herrera will go out. The Amigo with 4 points, 4 rebounds. And Reed gets them both. And that puts the Spurs back on top, 77-76. Mario Ellie down to Olajuwon. Little hook shot for two. Beautiful pass by Ellie. And he caught Olajuwon in a full gallop, and the Rockets go back up by one.
That's right, caught him on the move, and that put the defense at a disadvantage because they found themselves chasing.
All right, you got to get right out on Ellis now. He'll post up on Robinson's side. Knight tries to get it down to David. 7 on the shot clock. David back into the corner. Anderson with a three-pointer. Willie Anderson with a three. Spurs lead it by 2. And David goes for the steal. And Anderson comes away with it. Knight back outside. Ellis with a three, and he's fouled by Ellie. Was trying to put one on the Rockets here with a three-pointer, and Ellie knew that.
Yeah, I think that was an intentional foul on the part of Ellie, knowing that he didn't want that to be a three-point and get that momentum to stay in that direction. See, momentum is very important right now. You're talking a 2 3-point game. If the Rockets can swing the momentum in their direction, they can start getting themselves easier shots.
Ellis, the all-time leader in three-pointers made, 920. That's 42 more than Danny Ainge. And Michael Adams has dropped down to the 3rd spot. He used to be the leader a couple of seasons ago. Ellis gets 1 out of 2. And it's 81-78. The Spurs by 3 with 4:58 left to play.
I tell you, when the Rockets were up by 5, and they had that big span of a couple of foul shots and that technical, and the Spurs tied the game up, that was a crucial part of the game for the Rockets. They had everything going their way at that stage.
Maxwell will put up a three-pointer. This time it's off the mark, and Ellis runs it down. And a timeout taken by the Spurs. Well, we've got 4:35 left to play. And the Spurs have a 3-point lead. And Anderson will inbound the ball. Now the Spurs lead it by 3. 4:32 left to play. Rockets are going to have to play some defense and get some points. Robinson out front. Hakeem right on him. David drives to the left, leans it in. Olajuwon blocks it, and a foul is called on Hakeem. Well, Robinson getting some friendly calls here tonight, but then he's playing at home. And Olajuwon now with 4 personal fouls. Robinson with 4 fouls. David with 16 points. Hakeem with 17 points. And both have 17. And the Spurs now have built it to a 5-point lead.
Well, it comes down now, Bill, excuse me, but it comes down to possessions right now. With under 4 minutes, the Rockets have got to start to score on all possessions.
Vernon Maxwell put it up and missed it. Tipped outside, and Miguel Knight gets the rebound. Rockets just not rebounding tonight at all. This may be Houston's worst rebounding performance in a long time.
Well, we talked about cleaning that glass. It was going to be an important factor in what the outcome of this game was.
Knight back to Robinson. He puts it up for 2, and he's fouled by Hakeem. And everybody jumping up on that Spurs bench as they smell a victory. And that's the 5th foul on the Dream.
It's very questionable, Bill. I've got to add that in there. I saw a little offense. Now, Miguel Knight does a nice job drawing, but David goes in there, and he takes that free hand and throws it off.
Well, San Antonio's entire team is on the court, and Steve Javie called a delay of the game on Houston. Now, you figure that out. I'll tell you, these guys are amazing. I mean, Lucas and his whole team standing out on the court. Robinson puts it up to complete the 3-point play, and the Spurs now smell it. 86-78. The Spurs are on a 10-0 run in the last 2 minutes. Hakeem slams it home. Robinson, JR goes for the steal. He'll bring it in.
This game is by no stretch of your imagination over with, Bill.
Nope. Plenty of time. 3:28 left.
The Rockets have got to come up with a couple of stops defensively the next couple of times down and get themselves an opportunity to get some easy, quick baskets.
You're right, Calvin. They need to initiate it with their defense. 4 on the shot clock. Down to 3. Passes off to Olajuwon. Vernon has to beat J.R. Reed. Vernon takes it in for 2, and he's fouled. Vernon Maxwell trying to ignite a fire under the Rockets. Kenny Smith gives him a big hug, and Vernon will go to the line to try to get the Rockets within 3 points.
Well, great defense on the part of the Rockets. They just simply swarmed the ball by playing the passing lane, got it out to Vernon, and Vernon just finished it off by using good body position. He threw himself into the defense and laid it up off the backboard. But the defense igniting the offense.
Vernon Maxwell with a 3-point play the old-fashioned way, and he has 30 points. And it's 86-83 Spurs. 3:05 left to play in the game.
I smell a big basket coming up by the Rockets, Bill.
They got to have a stop first. Ariel Elliott comes out on Ellis. Robinson and Thorpe. Down inside to Anderson. 5 on the shot clock. J.R. Reed's got to put it up. Drives it for the layup.
Unfortunately, that Olajuwon has 5 fouls. He couldn't continue on defensively to try to block that.
And a timeout is taken by Houston. 2:37 left to play, and the Spurs are trying to end the win streak. Takes it to the basket with a runner, won't go, and Anderson, and a foul is called as J.R. Reed and Otis Thorpe are going after each other. And a foul is called on Otis. And I'll tell you, if you'll show me that replay again, he was being held down by J.R. Reed, and there was no whistle.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Now, the penetration
Watch J.R. holding down Thorpe. He kind of pushed him, and then he grabbed his arm.
Well, you missed it on
and a flagrant foul is called on Otis Thorpe. Now that's a flagrant foul number 1, not number 2, so Otis will stay in the game, but Reed will get the free throw. And Reed misses. Misses both. Well, justice prevails.
Poetic justice. Well, now the Rockets right now, there's 2:26 in the game. The Rockets have got to get back to making themselves the defensive team that they are and come up with some big defensive plays and get themselves a chance to bring themselves in striking distance of winning this game.
That's what has won for Houston, is getting some turnovers in critical situations and converting the points, and they certainly need them here. Willie Anderson from way outside, rims it out, and Otis Thorpe with a rebound. Gives it up to Kenny Smith. Rockets trailing by 5 points with 2:05 left to play in the game. Down to Olajuwon to the middle with a hook shot for 2. And Hakeem with 21 points. And it's a 3-point San Antonio lead, under 2 minutes left to play. Rockets need another stop. Robinson has Thorpe on his back now. Here's a double team. Maxwell comes over. All the way back out to Ellis for a 3-pointer, short. And Hakeem has the rebound, and the Rockets are back on the offense with 1:37 and counting. Kenny Smith looking down to the green. There it is. Has a double team on him. Got to get it back outside. Vernon gives it up to Ellis. 7 on the shot clock. Back to Vernon. Vernon shoots up a 3-pointer. Nope, it's off the iron. Miguel Knight quickly back, and he'll pull it out with 1:14 and counting.
There's the kind of play we talked about, getting Vernon involved with the penetration on the same side of the floor. Vernon just missed that shot.
Rockets need another stop here. 1:03, 1:02, 6 on the shot clock. Miguel Knight drives in on Olajuwon. Ellis from the baseline. No, it won't go, and Kenny Smith with a rebound. 54 seconds left, and the Rockets want to get it across and call a timeout. They do. The Rockets call a timeout. There you see the time remaining in the game. And the Rockets trail by 3. Can they pull out another miracle? Stay with us. The Rockets will have Elliott, Smith, Maxwell, Thorpe, and Olajuwon in the game. A 3-pointer can tie it, and a 2 will take it right down to the wire. Vernon Maxwell has 4 3-pointers already in this game. Knocked out of bounds by Ellis.
The Rockets are going for the best shot possible. They're not looking for a 3 or a 2, whatever the defense gives them.
Because they'll get the ball back.
They'll get the ball back, because we're talking about possessions now.
Ellie brings it into Thorpe. 13 on the shot clock. Hakeem. Vernon has a good look at a 3. Vernon misses. Olajuwon chases it down. Rockets will get it back. Back outside to Kenny Smith. He swings it. Ellie has plenty of time. He'll miss. And the rebound picked up by Otis, and back out to Vernon. Vernon puts up a 3. Yes! Vernon Maxwell hits a 3-pointer to tie the game at 88. Oh, baby, the Rockets with 3 offensive rebounds. And now we're tied with 21 seconds left to play.
3 seconds differential on the shot clock, Bill. The Rockets got to play good sound defense. One play, get the ball back.
7 on the shot clock. Down to 6. Down to 5. Miguel Knight puts it up. He misses. Ellie has it. Timeout Houston with 3 seconds left to play. The Rockets will get the final shot of the game. Remember what I told you now. 3 of the last 6 games here in San Antonio have gone into overtime. And Houston has won 2 of those 3 games. Just a few moments ago, the Spurs were looking at a 5-point lead and a possible victory with 2 technical fouls by J.R. Reed. He missed both of those foul shots, and the Rockets have scored 5 in a row to tie.
The Rockets kept their composure. They became a little more aggressive. They were able to get some offensive boards for the first time back-to-back that gave them a chance to score.
I'll tell you what, if I was ever, here it is again, if I needed a man to guard my back, I'd want Vernon Maxwell.
Without a judge.
He has intestinal fortitude and then some, I'm not going to say guts, I'm just going to say, and look at the shake and bake by Vernon. He is 5 of 12 from behind the line tonight. Vernon Maxwell with 33 points.
I'll tell you what he is. He's mad. That's Mad Max for you.
Houston is 8 of 21 from behind the arc for 38%. The Spurs are 4 of 10. Now, Calvin, 3 seconds left. Where will the Rockets go for the final shot?
Mario Elliott. Mario Elliott
on the drive.
On the drive, he can stop, take that little jump shot also, but he has the strongest opportunity to get fouled on the penetration to the basket. But it depends on how the defense shades him, because if he can get the ball, whoever gets the ball, obviously the 3 seconds on the clock, he's got to turn and find a way to get the ball up on the basket. Because the worst the Rockets can do is go into overtime.
The Rockets will send out Kenny Smith, Vernon Maxwell, Mario Elliott, Hakeem Olajuwon, and Otis Thorpe will bring the ball in. Here we go. It's winning time for Houston. Can they do it again? Thorpe will bring it in. Otis will take the 20, and the Rockets now are out of timeouts. The Rockets have no more timeouts remaining, and the Spurs still have a couple. Well, we'd like to welcome TNT again to our fantastic finish. And we are seeing one here. With about 2 minutes left to play, the Spurs led by 5 points. With J.R. Reed at the line, he missed both free throws, and since then, the Rockets have scored 5 in a row to tie it up. Vernon Maxwell with his 5th three-pointer of the game to tie it up at 88. There you see the time remaining, 3.1 left in the game. The Rockets are out of timeouts. They will have to inbound the ball.
Now, Kenny Smith does not want to leave early. He wants to get the defense set, make his move towards the ball, so they can't tip it off.
Vernon comes out and gets it. Shot clock is down to 1. Vernon puts it up, and the Houston Rockets win it. The Houston Rockets win it. The miracle season continues for Houston. The Houston Rockets have won their 22nd game in a row. They outscored the Spurs 7-0 down the stretch. Oh, what a comeback by a team that is on a mission. The Houston Rockets have pulled it out, and they send 32,000 home unhappy, except for those few Rockets fans. Watch it again.
We got to watch it again. Vernon Maxwell is just a man on a mission. He stopped with the clock running down, the defense going in one direction. He was able to get a good look. He's just been shooting that ball tremendously. He scored for another winning basket. This has got to be the 6th one this year.
Rudy Tomjanovich follows the ball. 35 points. I don't think I've seen Rudy move that fast since his rookie season. Look at him. Vernon Maxwell is mobbed by his teammates. 35 points tonight for Vernon Maxwell, including 5 three-pointers, and a game that looked lost with 2 minutes to go is pulled out by the Rockets.